So you want to be more confident on camera. That is why you're here today. Maybe every time you go to hit record, you completely freeze up and you're like, wait, what was I gonna say? Much like I did on my very first take of this video. On camera. Or maybe you're doing a little thing called self-comparison and you're looking at other creators who post videos, maybe even this one, and thinking, I could never be that confident on camera. I call bullshit. Because guess what? I've not always been confident on camera. I'm going to be starting a YouTube channel. This was my first YouTube video that I made for this channel during quarantine back in 2020. Starting a series on my YouTube channel called... I remember I was so nervous. I was so embarrassed and afraid that what if my parents hear me talking to the camera? What if my siblings hear me talking to the camera? How cringe. I just got nervous because someone came down. That's why I'm like whispering in the video. And I would freeze up so badly every time I hit record that I started taking AirPods and I would read the script and then play the script into the AirPod and repeat it back as it was playing into my ear. Which, by the way, is kind of a hack if you need that. Point being, I didn't get here where I am right now to a point where I feel very comfortable, very confident on camera by just thinking about it. I got here by doing it. So, we're gonna talk about some super actionable steps that you can take to improve your camera confidence. So the first thing that's really important to realize, and when I realized this, I was like, so there is a really big difference between confidence and self-worth. Self-worth is your intrinsic value independent of any external thing, any external validation, any external skill. It's your intrinsic value as a human being, for which we all have. You have that, I have that, we all have self-worth. We are all intrinsically valuable just by existing, and we have to believe in that. Confidence, on the other hand, is trust in your ability to do something that you build over time through repetition. So confidence is tied to performance. You're going to be confident in your camera presence after you prove to yourself through repetition, through doing, that you can do it. You're not just gonna wake up one morning and be like, I am officially suddenly camera confident. I have not practiced one time, but here I am, I'm suddenly confident. When I started doing improv, I was not confident the first many times and still sometimes to this day. But guess what? Every time I practice that skill, I get more confident. It takes practice. Now here's the cool thing. If you build really strong self-worth, that core belief that you are intrinsically valuable just by existing, then it makes it so much easier to go out there and try to build skills, build confidence in new skills, because you know that even if you mess up, even if you turn the camera off altogether and give up on the video, you're still okay. You're still valuable. You're still cool as heck. Now, tip number one, it's the mindset shift that confidence isn't something that just appears out of thin air. It is a muscle that needs to be worked. When you go to the gym, you're not gonna show up on day one and be curling 100 pounds. I don't know, maybe if you're a guy with just like some giant biceps, maybe, but you're gonna have to work up to that. You're gonna have to go to the gym every day for weeks, months, years to build up to those goals, to build that muscle, to strengthen that muscle. Same thing goes with camera confidence. You just have to start practicing. Tip number 2. Start small. You don't have to make a feature film your first time on camera. You don't even have to post it. You don't even have to show anyone. You don't even have to show your dog. Just record it, look at it, and delete it. Heck, maybe even your first time, you don't even need to watch it. You just need to practice the rep and then you delete the video. Start small. Little tiny little steps, little bite-sized pieces. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to warm up and get present every time you go to get on camera. There's 3 exercises that you can do. I do them pretty much almost every time. I did them this morning. 1, voice warm-ups, vocal exercises. When you're on camera, you're speaking and you're using your voice, which can feel very vulnerable for a lot of people. You don't have to be a singer. You don't have to sound good in the vocal warm-ups, but if you warm up your voice and you feel more confident in the sound that's coming out of your mouth, it's gonna help you come off and feel and be more confident on camera. I link in the description some that I use. They're just YouTube videos, so you can also just search 10-minute YouTube warm-up and YouTube warm-up, vocal warm-up. The second exercise is meditation. The more present you are in the moment, the less you're going to be overthinking all of the factors that might be clogging up your mind. The reason that you probably freeze up when you hit record is because you're thinking, what do I look like? What do I sound like? What is someone gonna think if they see this video? And when all of those things are clogging up your mind, how the heck are you supposed to remember what you're gonna say? That's juggling a lot of things. So meditate, 5 to 10 minutes. The more present you can be, the better off you're gonna be, and the less cluttered your mind is gonna be. The third exercise is called box breathing. So you breathe in for either 4 or 5 counts. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you hold it at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You breathe out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you hold it at the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you do that for 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute, 4 minute, 5 minute, however long you need. But just, if anything, do that one. It's super simple. All you need is a timer or a stopwatch, or you can just count in your own head. Super simple. Now this tip is one of my favorites because it takes so much pressure off of your shoulders. There's this thing called the spotlight effect where we think that everybody is paying more attention to us and caring more about us than they actually are. You might walk into a room and there's a lot of people around and you feel like, oh my gosh, everyone's looking at me. Most likely no one's actually looking at you, and this is a major relief. So when it comes to being confident on camera, if you're feeling this weight of like, oh my gosh, I have to look a certain way, I have to be a certain way, I have to sound a certain way, I have to say this perfectly by the script, take the pressure off of yourself and think about the audience member. Think about who you're talking to. Think about, what are you here to help them with? Why are you making videos in the first place? Why do you want to create content? Think about the other person. Think about the person behind the camera, the person behind the screen that's eventually gonna be watching this. Not about what they're thinking about you, but the mission, the vision, why and how you're going to help that person. It takes so much pressure off your shoulders. You don't have to stress about being perfect anymore because you got a mission to fulfill. Habits, 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 habits. I don't know the exact science of how many days it takes to build a habit. It changes quite often. But if you build a habit of speaking to a camera on a daily basis, it is going to get easier really quickly. Get on camera once a day. I call it daily reps. I actually have a free guide linked in the description with 100+ prompts to help you get on camera and just practice talking to the camera every day. And if you can build this into your routine, it literally will take 1 minute, 5 minutes max, and it will exponentially increase your camera confidence. Now, the key to connecting to someone through the camera is to make it conversational. When you're talking to a friend, you mess up mid-sentence. You're not gonna be like, oh, so the other day I went to the park. Sorry, that sounded so stupid. So the other day I went to the park. Dang it, no, okay, let me try this again. So the other day I went to the park. No, you're not gonna do that when you're talking to your friend. You're just gonna finish your sentence, even if you fumble over your word. It makes it human. Now in the age of AI, that is actually gonna be increasingly appreciated. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to sound like an AI talking to the camera. Nobody expects you to speak and articulate absolutely perfectly. They just want to hear a human talking, which includes making little mistakes. So as uncomfortable as it feels, when you're doing your daily reps and practicing, practice just continuing. Even if you mess up, make a joke out of it. Just be like, blah, blah, what did I just do? What did I do? Okay, anyways, back to the story. Let yourself mess up and just go with it. Next, tippity tip tip tap toot the personification of the camera. So it can feel like a void. You're literally talking to an inanimate object, or maybe kind of like you're talking to yourself, which can feel like a black hole because there's no feedback. It's like you're speaking into a void. So how can you personify the camera? Do you know your audience? Who are you talking to? 9 times out of 10, it is yourself, but it's not you right now that you're talking to, it's your past self. Speak to the person that you were before right now. So think about it. Just take a second to write it down. Who are you talking to? Just decide. Write down my past self. Maybe it's my younger brother. Maybe it's my grandma. Whatever it is. Choose who you're talking to so that you can replace the camera with a real person that you have an actual emotional connection to. Final tip. Create a space that you feel comfortable filming in. Right now, I am sitting on a pillow because the floor is kind of hard. But choose a setting that feels aligned with you. Maybe for you, the most comfortable setting is your bedroom that is absolutely a mess right now. That's cool. That doesn't mean you can't be confident on camera. It has to be what makes you feel most comfortable. Maybe it's going on a walk. Maybe you need movement to get you going, to get you relaxed, to clear your mind. So do something, find a place that makes you feel comfortable, and make sure you have a nice, bright light source so that people can see your beautiful face as you are confidently speaking to the camera. Everyone has some sort of confidence issue when it comes to getting on camera. If you take anything away from today's video, it's that you don't need to feel 100% ready to start at something. You just have to take that first step. And maybe that first step for you is starting the daily reps. I could not recommend more doing this. I have a client right now who she started doing the daily reps, and the amount that her camera confidence has improved in the 2 months that we've worked together is incredible. So take that first step. Start doing those daily reps. Remember, there's the PDF in the description. I hope that was helpful, pals. If you guys end up recording a video because of this, tag me in it. I'd love to see it. I'll see you guys in the next one.